One sentence parents say that can crush a child's confidence for life. Imagine if I told you that a single, seemingly insignificant sentence, uttered casually, without anger, in a fleeting moment, could subtly yet profoundly shape a child's self-assurance for their entire life. Most parents genuinely want what's best for their children. They aspire for them to succeed, to develop resilience, and to surpass their own achievements. However, sometimes the words we choose, particularly when we're exhausted or under pressure, can leave lasting scars, far deeper than we initially perceive. And the most insidious remarks are often those that sound perfectly ordinary, even well-intentioned. The sentence that carries such weight is this: "Why can't you be more like your brother? Why can't you be more like your sister? Why can't you be like other kids?" On the surface, it sounds harmless. It might even seem like a source of motivation. It could be perceived as a gentle nudge in the right direction. But to a child's sensitive ears and heart, this sentence doesn't register as encouragement at all. Instead, it sounds like a direct comparison. And comparison, instead of fostering growth, inflicts wounds. It undermines self-worth and plants seeds of doubt. Adults tend to process words logically, analyzing their surface meaning. Children, on the other hand, interpret them emotionally, filtered through their feelings of self-worth and security. When a parent says, "Why can't you be more like someone else?" a child's mind doesn't focus on specific behaviors or academic performance. Their thoughts immediately turn to love and acceptance. The underlying message they receive is translated into something far more fundamental and emotionally charged. "I'm not good enough as I am. I'm a disappointment to my parents. I'm less valuable or worthy than someone else in their eyes." And when a child internalizes that message repeatedly, hearing it again and again, it solidifies into a core belief about themselves. The key to understanding this lies in the fact that children's brains are still developing. They haven't yet fully developed the cognitive ability to effectively separate external feedback from their own intrinsic identity. Therefore, when you criticize a specific behavior or action, they often internalize it as a criticism of their entire person. Neuroscience research has demonstrated that repeated emotional stress during childhood actually activates the same neural pathways in the brain as physical pain, highlighting the profound impact of words. Comparison is a significant trigger for shame. Shame, in turn, shuts down the learning process. And a child burdened by feelings of shame is unable to develop genuine confidence and self-esteem. Instead of being motivated to think, "I can improve if I work at it," they begin to believe, "I should just give up trying, because I'm destined to fail." Children who are consistently subjected to comparisons throughout their formative years often grow into adults who struggle with self-doubt and insecurity, often in silence. They may project an image of outward success and competence, but internally, they are plagued by constant self-criticism. They develop a deep-seated fear of failure. They tend to avoid taking on new challenges or risks. And they frequently measure their own worth and accomplishments by comparing themselves to the achievements of others. Some individuals become perfectionists, driven by an insatiable need to achieve, but never truly satisfied or feeling good enough in their own right. Others give up prematurely, not because they lack the necessary skills or intelligence, but because they were implicitly taught that venturing outside their comfort zone and trying new things isn't safe emotionally. All of this can stem from a single sentence, repeated far too many times throughout their childhood. Picture a child sitting at the kitchen table, their homework assignments spread out before them. They're already struggling with the material. They're starting to feel frustrated and discouraged. Then, in that moment of vulnerability, a parent says, "Your brother never had any trouble with this. Why can't you be more like him and just get it done?" Instantly, the child's focus shifts away from the homework itself. They begin to perceive the situation as a competition, a scoreboard of sorts. And on that imaginary scoreboard, they are losing, falling behind. And rather than learning the math concepts they need to grasp, they internalize something far more detrimental. Love is conditional and based on performance. Parents resort to comparisons because they are, after all, only human. They're often juggling multiple responsibilities and feeling stressed. They're inherently worried about their child's future. They desperately want to see positive results. But comparison is ultimately a shortcut, and shortcuts frequently lead us down the wrong path with unintended consequences. Motivation that's built on a foundation of fear and shame only creates temporary compliance, not genuine, lasting confidence. And confidence, a belief in one's own abilities, is what children need most to thrive in the long run. Instead of resorting to comparison, shift your focus to acknowledging and praising their effort. Instead of saying, "Why can't you be more like someone else?" Try offering words of encouragement such as, "I can see how hard you're trying to understand this." Everyone learns and progresses at their own individual pace. It's perfectly okay to struggle with challenging material. Let's work through this together, and I'll help you figure it out. These alternative sentences convey a dramatically different message. You are safe and supported. You are capable of learning and growing. You are loved unconditionally, even when things are difficult. And that message is what fosters true resilience in a child. Genuine confidence doesn't stem from external pressure or unrealistic expectations. It blossoms from a sense of emotional safety and security. When children feel safe and accepted for who they are, they're more likely to take healthy risks. They're more inclined to ask questions and seek clarification. They're more willing to try again after experiencing failure, viewing it as a learning opportunity. Conversely, when they feel constantly compared to others, they tend to hide their vulnerabilities. They withdraw emotionally and become less communicative. They instinctively protect themselves from potential judgment and criticism. Ultimately, your words have the power to either build a strong bridge of connection and understanding, or to erect a formidable wall of resistance and defensiveness. It's important to remember that every parent makes mistakes along the way. No one achieves perfection in parenting, nor should they strive for it. What truly matters is cultivating awareness of the potential impact of our words and actions. The overarching goal isn't to be flawless, which is an unrealistic expectation. The ultimate goal is to nurture a deep and meaningful connection with your child. Because the words you consistently repeat and reinforce today will inevitably become the inner voice that your child internalizes and hears inside their head tomorrow. Therefore, consciously choose words that instill strength, resilience, and self-acceptance, rather than planting seeds of shame, doubt, and inadequacy. A single sentence, spoken thoughtlessly or repeatedly, can profoundly shape a child's entire childhood experience. That one sentence can potentially resonate and linger for a lifetime. Choose your words wisely and with mindful intention.